Boom. Hey, all right. Gearbox. Okay, yeah. Okay, got the stream going. How's that signal looking? It's looking good. All right, I think we're ready to go here. I might need a little adjustment here. All right, folks. Welcome to the House of G. So yeah, it's Monday. Let's go ahead and kind of break down some of those Monday doldrums a bit. Yeah, it can be a bit rough getting that weekend started here. So let's go and just kind of take a little bit of the edge off those Monday blues there. So today, ooh doggy. Yeah, we are going to be talking about, still got some comic books, a bagging board and everything. And give me 1 second here, please, if you don't mind. Still getting the hang of this here. All right, let's see. Oh yeah, so I got a few more comic books to go through here. Actually, got quite a few, so this might take a while at this rate, which I'm not complaining about because it's quite a bit of fun actually. Okay, all right. Actually, I was going to try some like this. Okay. Yeah. You have to forgive me if I'm looking a tiny bit scruffy. It was quite the weekend for me, a long weekend. I do have a Twitch stream over, twitch.tv. Just look for Rebel Squadron if you're ever interested in hanging out. I ran 2 streams, Saturday and Sunday. Saturday was kind of a disaster there. I added a bunch of, I'm working on a bunch of new stuff for the stream and everything. And still sorting out stuff, so oh my goodness. It took quite a bit of time getting that sorted out. Yesterday, that was a marathon stream right there, 11 hours. And I spent like 3-4 hours just trying to get it worked out because I had a whole bunch of new stuff pop up, new technical difficulties. Oh my gosh. Once I got that sorted out, 11 hours. Let's see here. Let's just say it was well after midnight before I finished and late into the morning. I was actually doing a tier 100 challenge on Call of Duty Warzone. I have managed to get up to tier 90 by this weekend, and the season 6 battle pass was set to expire in 2 days. So on Saturday I managed to unlock Dragonfire rounds for the R90, and I also managed to unlock the AMAX assault rifle. So that was quite the achievement there, all in one day, pretty much from scratch. And then yesterday, I managed to finish out those tiers, get to that tier 100, cleared out the entire season 6 battle pass. Oh my gosh, that was a marathon. It was a lot of fun, but I didn't have a lot of time to get a little trim in here. That's what I usually do on the weekends, and so I might be looking a little rough for the wear there. It was a very long weekend there, but it was fun, so it was worth it. All right, so let's go ahead and get into our first comic book here. So this one is Spider-Man starring in Marvel Adventures. That is, was that Scorpion guy? Yeah, there's a lot of green in his costume, so it's kind of see-through right there. It does manage to turn me invisible. That's a pretty neat trick right there. So, wrong hand. Crashing in on high society. This is, let's see here. issue number 2, May of 1997. So this one is an older issue. As you can see, the well, at least the Scorpion anyways, his artwork's a little bit on the cartoony side, which being Marvel Adventures, I'm pretty sure that was intentional. Yeah, it definitely looks more like a, well, Scorpion at least. Yeah, Spider-Man looks like Spider-Man there for the most part. Scorpion looks like something out of a Saturday morning cartoon there. And it's not a complaint, just just making an observation there. So I think this might have been geared a little more towards actual children, perhaps. Let's take a look at the store here and just kind of get an idea of what's going on. So yeah, the name of the game, Stan Lee Presents. The good old days of Stan Lee. So yeah, something about crashing in a high society. There may have been a heist or something. I vaguely remember this from 1997. Oh my goodness. Let's see here. So, still working on camera angles. Yeah, so Spidey and Scorpion, they're in some sort of fight. Well, okay. Yeah, well, yeah, I'm not trying to sit here reading the whole thing here. Oh, and guess who makes an appearance? Yep, we got Venom. Yeah, he's not on the cover at all, but he does make an appearance in this episode. Definitely looking a little bit tamer as far as Venom goes. Cleaner artwork and everything. A little bit less scary looking. I'm kind of thinking this is definitely more of a kids issue here. Oop. Let's see here. Yeah, you gotta love the ads. The old school ads in the comic books. Yeah, that's as American as apple pie right there. Yeah, the whole old subscription ads, those were, I don't know, for some reason, I always liked those. Because it gave you an idea of what kind of comic books they had available. And I don't know, there's just something about being able to, now I never did this, but the option to cut it out and send it in and then get comic books in return. That was just a cool idea, if you ask me. But I think you did have the option. Yes, you can photocopy it. That is right. So right there at the wrong one. Yeah, so at the bottom of this page here, it's kind of difficult to see. There we go. Let's see if we can get that up there. Yes, you can photocopy this coupon, because they knew that cutting these things up was not a good idea. It's like, who doggy. So yeah, I don't know. That just brings back memories. I don't remember seeing that in more recent years, actually. So I don't know if they just took that right out. What is this? What? No. What? Wait a minute. Am I missing something here? Wait a minute. Oh, okay. No. Okay. I just... Okay, for a second there. Okay, so Venom is actually stalking J. Jonah Jameson with the, obvious intention of eating his brains. And then this guy pops up. Says something about leaving the planet. So, yeah, it looks like he actually came to take the alien symbiote back home or something. For a second there, I thought that was J. Jonah Jameson. He's got that silvery hair and everything. His mustache is a bit different there. So that, yeah, pretty sure that's a unique character. But J. Jonah Jameson is saved by this alien guy. That was interesting right there. This is 1997, so that might be the first, That's my first recollection of the symbiote for Venom being from an alien planet and there being something more to this creature than just being a single entity within the universe. Whew, that is going back a ways. Now, in the modern era of Marvel, there are quite a few symbiote type characters now. And I'm not completely up to speed on the backstories there, but it's my understanding that there is some sort of planet full of these symbiote characters. Oh yeah, it's Mary Jane. Let's see here. So yeah, this is definitely a little more on the cartoony side. I'm thinking more kid friendly. But yep, there's Mary Jane right there. That is a nice looking Mary Jane. Even if she is a little on the clean cut cartoony side, they still managed to make her look pretty nice. Keep in mind, this is back in 1997 when they did not have a problem drawing attractive women. And there's Peter Parker getting ready to go out for a day. Got his Spider-Man outfit underneath. There's a Scorpion apparently chasing down Eddie, or running into Eddie Brock in the sewers. I didn't know Eddie Brock liked to hang out in the sewers without the symbiote. The Venom symbiote. Interesting. Okay, so at this point... Okay, so it looks like Mary Jane and Peter Parker have been invited to some sort of hoity-toity event. At this point, Scorpion breaks through the glass ceiling, literally. And naturally, Peter Parker is, at that last panel, running off to change into Spider-Man there. I love this scene right there. A guy, you can tell he's like trying to put the moves on that rather attractive looking woman, and her hand is up in his face. That poor guy. But you know what? You've got to give him credit for trying. Who doggy? Yeah, some women just like to play hard to get. At least they used to. Oh, how times have changed since 1997. And okay, so now the Scorpion is apparently going after J. Jonah Jameson. I'm assuming, not having read every single panel, that after running into Eddie Brock, Scorpion and Brock came to some sort of agreement, and for whatever reason agreed to finish what Venom was attempting to do there before that alien guy came in and sucked up the symbiote and took it away to another planet. Well, so Spider-Man saves the day. Scorpion gets apprehended. And as you can see, Eddie Brock is not happy. So his hatred for Spider-Man continues to grow. Yeah, that's well, when you got somebody that hates you that much, you must be doing something right. Let's put it that way. Okay, so Marvel Adventures, a little bit on the cartoony side, like Saturday morning cartoony side, definitely seems to have more of a slant towards an actual younger child level audience. But in and of itself, the story was actually kind of interesting. Just skimming through it, and the fact that the Venom symbiote was actually taken away from Eddie Brock and apparently returned to some other planet. That was an interesting little twist right there. Yeah, I might have to read this at some point and get a better feel for the story there. So yeah, that one is actually on the interesting side. I actually do remember the cover from back in the day. Vaguely. Kind of sort of vaguely. Alright, let's get our bag and board here, and let's get this puppy ready for storage. Right. Alright, so we got the bag, get the board, slide that puppy right in. Alright. There's something kind of therapeutic about that, about the whole process. Prepping the bag with the board and then sliding the comic book in. You get that sense that, it's going to be well protected. It's just the whole process is just, it's repetitive, but at the same time, it's also reassuring. It's kind of hard to explain. This is a hobby. People spend money on all kinds of hobbies and whatnot. This is one of my hobbies. And yeah, it's just something satisfying about it. Boop, slide it right in, nice and easy. Just got to use that gentle touch. You don't have to force it. With these types of things, comic books are on the delicate side, so yeah, that gentle touch comes in really handy at times like this. Oh, you know what? I forgot something. Which is all good because we're about to take the next step. So before we go any further, hello. Yeah, just let me show you real quick in case you haven't seen this. So yeah, this is my recent box I picked up from BWC. Was it BCW rather? I am mildly dyslexic there, so yeah, really cool Transformers box, and you probably may have heard that comic book sliding around inside because it's not quite full. We got Optimus Prime on the end of it with the Spark of Life. That is really cool. And then, well, I don't know if you can see that. I don't want to tip it too much there, but you got Optimus Prime cleaning the clock of one Megatron. Transformers, more than meets the eye. Woo, yeah, who doggy. Some of my favorite characters of all time. At least from back in the day. Yeah, this is fun. And it's starting to get a little bit on the full side there. We're making some progress. I wasn't expecting to get through so many comic books in each live stream. But yeah, it's going along pretty nice. Oh, excuse me. All right. So now we're taking a little bit of a turn here. Let's see. So okay. Now I do remember this company. It's called Big Entertainment. It's one of those indie type companies, and I think they broke on the scene. I think they were just trying to create a big independent name outside of Marvel, DC, and whatnot. And this is one of their flagship titles, Mickey Spillane's Mike Danger. So yeah, he's a private eye type character there. It looks like he's going up against a bunch of robots. Maybe thought maybe an alien there, but no, that looks pretty metallic there. So yeah, he's some sort of robot fighter, maybe an alien robot fighter. And clearly gets the girl. For the most part, you tell she's a girl. She's definitely got the form there. All she's missing is the hair. She really needs to let her hair grow out there. Yeah, I'm sorry, but I like my women to look like women. I like to know they're women just by looking at them. And if it wasn't for the, let's say the little bit lower parts there, I'm not 100% sure that would have been a woman. But yeah, it seems for the most part, yeah, that is. So yeah, this woke stuff, the get woke, go broke, it did not form in a vacuum. Let's see here. Okay, so this is number 3. Mike Danger, number 3. Let's see here. Nothing on the cover. Let's take a look inside real quick. Okay, so it is the year 2052. Okay, so that might be some sort of futuristic hairstyle on our part. Which, futuristic isn't always better, as this is a good example of that. August 1996. Okay, so this is from 1996. This is another oldie but goodie. And let's see here. Where was I going with that? I completely lost my train of thought. But, oh yeah, so the whole woke thing, the woke nonsense, it did not form in a vacuum. It grew up over time, and they just got more and more in-depth and detailed with their whole woke agenda. So that's why I always got to ask, what is your definition of woke? Because it did not pop up in a vacuum. And that haircut right there, yeah, okay, it's supposed to be 2052, but you know what? Just because it's the future doesn't mean that men should stop being men and women should stop being women, if you know what I'm saying. So, yeah, it's a camera thing, trying to get the hang of it. And yeah, so, I don't know. It's it has been around a long time, and that's how it starts. It starts with those little things, those little deviations from what is very much the norm between men and women. Those little deviations, one little deviation at a time. The frog in the pot of water, you slowly raise the heat. Now, at some point, the frog will realize that it's boiling to death, and it will jump out. People, they tend to overlook that fact. That is a fact. I think somebody actually did an experiment on that, and the frogs actually did jump out of the pot of water once it did reach a certain temperature. Because you might be able to trick people like that for a while. Turn that heat up just a little bit at a time, just a little bit at a time. But at some point, you're gonna notice the heat. You're gonna notice that there is something off. There is something wrong. That you need to get out of that pot. Well, this is where it begins, folks. Right here, stuff like this. That hair on that girl. That is a man's haircut. The woke has been going on for decades, and this is proof right here. If you've watched the other House of G's, come across the exact same thing, exact same type of thing, and it's been going on for a long time. And as long as people say they're okay with stuff like this, I'm sorry, but the woke is not going away, and pop culture and entertainment is not gonna. It's not gonna recall. It's not gonna be restored. It's not gonna come back. If people don't start, looking at this stuff with clear, open eyes, then pop culture is dead, folks. It really is. And that's why I love the physical media. I do not do digital. I hate doing digital. This is why I do physical. Because when pop culture dies, I've got this to fall back on. To go look back on, to get that feeling of nostalgia. And you know what? There's so many of these. I've forgotten so many of the stories. I have the option to go back and reread those and relive those stories, the good stories, the good characters. So, yeah, that's why physical media matters. And that's why I will never go completely digital. Certain things I might go on the digital side here and there. But by and large, I want that physical media. And this, when you have that in your hand, they can't alter it. This is from 1996. They can't change this. As much as they might want to, it's set in stone. As long as I take good care of this and keep it protected, they can't do anything about it. Except to come into my home and steal it. That's not going to happen now without a fight. Oh yeah, so we still have to get into the comic book here. Yeah. So yeah, I actually don't remember a whole lot about this. I know I read it. Oh, you know what? Yeah, so like I said, they had a whole bunch of comic books here going on. Yeah, a whole entire series of different characters and everything. Yeah, if I remember correctly, they were trying to break into the mainstream comic book, rival, challenge DC and Marvel. This one, Mickey Spillane. The name sounds familiar, and I can't place it. I cannot think of where that name come from. Oh, what's going on here? Okay, 1 second. Okay, still figuring this stuff out. I'm actually not 100% certain my chat is working. Because this is acting... Okay, so If anybody is by any chance sending in chats, yeah, I'm doing this through Streamlabs OBS. I'm doing YouTube Studio through Streamlabs OBS. And this stuff, it's not as straightforward as you might think. Okay, so, we did a little test there. Sign in over here. It's popping up over here. But I can't, for some strange reason, I can't chat in the Streamlabs. Wow, that is a weird one. This stuff is so weird. I don't know. I honestly don't know. It's, you would say that they would make blah, 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 blah. You would think that they would make the stuff a little more user friendly, but it's really not. You practically need a computer degree to be able to do this stuff. I mean, you don't, but it's gonna. And that's not even. That's the wrong. That's not even the right account there. That's my other channel. What is going on with this? How do I? Wait, come on. What's going on? What? I'm not even signed into that. I don't understand what's going on. It's okay. Wait a minute. Hold on. Let me try something else here. I might have to do a workaround here to get this going. So frustrating. I just want to chat. I just want to do the stream. That's all I want to do. Okay, that's not working as I thought it would. So I typed in the chat over here. It's not showing up here. Oh, you're killing me here, YouTube. And come on. Okay, this is one of those things I gotta figure out. Let me type that down so I don't forget, because I will forget. Okay, so now I'll be able to work on that later today. Oh my gosh, are you serious with this? Okay, so let me check something. Yeah, oh my gosh. Why do they have to make this so difficult? Why? Boom, 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 boom. I apologize for the delay here. Okay, so this is weird. Yeah, I sent a message from here. Okay, let's just pop that right out and see what happens here. Got it. And this is the only way I can fix this, because there's no way to do this offline, which is a little frustrating, but that's just the way it works. Let's see if anything happens this time around. Nope. Okay, so that's not working. What's going on with this? I want to chat from my actual Rebel Rant account, and it looks like because like with my YouTube Studio, it's weird because I am definitely connected. I am live on Rebel Rant, but my YouTube Studio is not showing me as being connected. It says it. What is going on with this? It's so weird. It's just so weird. Wait, enable live chat. Yeah. What? Oh. Are you serious? Are you serious with this? Okay, that's weird. I just enabled live chat. I thought it was already enabled. I could have sworn I messed with that. That would explain it. Because I did a live stream. The last live stream I did, I checked it and it said that live chat was disabled for it. And that didn't make any sense because it was supposed to be enabled. Okay, so live chat, boom, says it's enabled now. What is going on with this? YouTube, why do you gotta make this complicated? Says to start sending my video, but guess what? I already am. That's what? This doesn't make any sense at all. It makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. Let's see. Okay, so say I'm a Rebel Squadron. I gotta wait and see if it pops up because I don't have a delay in the stream, but apparently it buffers. So, so much I can do about it. I've tried all kinds of things. Kind of thinking, say I have a single PC setup for my streaming. I don't have a second PC to dedicate to streaming at this point. And, so that makes it does make it a little more challenging. Just waiting for that to pop up here. All right, let's get back to the comic book. Yeah, I got so much stuff I still got to research. I've done so much research just trying to get this stuff going. Okay, so we are currently talking about Mickey Spolentz's Mike Danger. And let's see what this is about actually. Well, hopefully the live chat is working out because I did enable it. Let me double check this real quick. Enable live chat. Yep. So okay. Hopefully that's enabled from now on. I think maybe I figured that one out at least. This is oh, this is something else, man. Yeah. So I can't. Kill him here. Yeah, so might as well just leave that open. Okay, that's what we're gonna do here. So yeah, this is just whoa, what just happened? What? I'm not gonna show that because I'm trying to keep this relatively PG-13-ish. So, oh my lord. So he was fighting some robots. Apparently literally got his head ripped off. Somehow he survived. I don't know. Maybe it was just a bad dream. He wakes up and he's got a bandage around his neck, so something obviously happened there. And okay, that's yeah, that's a little surprise there. Wait a minute. So he did get his head ripped off. Let's see here. Yeah, that's his head on a platter. Scientific, some sort of science lab type deal. And apparently they kept him alive till, well, they were able to reattach him. That is definitely some sci-fi right there. Let me tell you. So, I'm just not sure if that was a recent event or if he ended up waking up in the future. No, wait. Technically it's the future, just not like the far future. I think it was just like a couple days later or something. Wow. This is definitely on the trippy side. Let me tell you. Fascinating. Ooh. See, this is what I'm talking about. So this woman, okay, so you get the girl on the cover, right? You can tell it's a woman, barely. That haircut is horrible. Absolutely horrible. And then boom, there she is. And you get the nice full body shot there, and oh my goodness. See, that is a woman. Except for the hair. The hair is just, that is a boy's haircut. And I'm sorry, women do not look attractive when they're dressed up as boys. If you think a woman dressed up as a boy is attractive, you got issues. Let me put it to you that way. Let's move on. So yeah, that's where it starts. A very attractive looking woman with a boy's haircut. Quite frankly, that is designed to confuse you. And one of the reasons why I simply do not like it. I know there are people that are going to say they're okay with it, but it's really not. And if this woke nonsense hasn't proven that by now, well, I honestly don't know what it's going to take for some people to open their eyes. Because the slippery slope is real. And in this instance, it started in 1996. And we are now left with stuff like Captain Marvel. You got the new Warriors, Snowflake, and Safe Space. It doesn't end, folks. When you go down that slippery slope, there are no boundaries at that point. And literally anything goes, and that is not for the better. So, yeah. Take this woman and give her some freaking hair. Come on. Give her some hair, and that would be something right there. That would be quite the female specimen. If you know what I'm saying. And she brings him, oh my goodness. She brings him steak and wine. Oh my goodness. If she only had some hair, that would be a woman right there. Let me tell you. Let me tell you. And well, with that steak, she's got kind of a. Oh, it gets even better. Oh my goodness. We need to actually read some of this. So right there, she's saying, let's see if we can get that. Wait a minute. Come on, zoom in. Oh, come on. I don't know if you can read that. No, where's your kitchen? I brought my oven apron. Was it? No, where's your kitchen? I brought my own apron. Oh, so he's asking if it was soy nonsense, and she's saying no. And she says, where's your kitchen? I brought my own apron. Now, other than the fact that she has a boy's haircut, folks, that is a woman. Let me tell you, 1996, that is a woman right there. He had his head ripped off and reattached. She is dressed to the nine. She just needs to grow her hair out. But she comes over with steak and wine. And she is ready to cook it for him. Just looking like a movie star. That is a woman, folks. Oh, man, I miss those days. Wait a minute. So his body was apparently incinerated, and apparently a clone was grown to give his body, or give his head a home. And yeah, which makes you wonder where the other head went, and they don't elaborate on that, and that might be for the best at this point. This is a little on the twisty side. 2052. That's actually not that far away from here at this point. Well, okay, still 32 years away, but a lot can happen in 3 decades. Let me tell you. Okay, so they actually run into some robots again. They get into some more fighting. Not 100% sure on the backstory at this point. Have not been reading every single panel or anything. But yeah, he's getting into it. He's getting into it. He just can't seem to get away from these crazy robots here. But he manages to take care of them. Now. Hold on a second. Hold on. Okay, let me make sure I'm understanding this correctly. Because, yeah, this is going to touch on the whole woke thing here again, which is not surprising. Back in the day, it was a little easier to gloss over it and still enjoy the stories because it wasn't quite so prevalent. I mean, it was definitely everywhere in little bits, just here and there. You still had the masculine male characters and everything, and the feminine female characters, and even this particular female character is actually quite feminine for the most part, except for the hair and what I'm about to touch on here. Other than that, she's actually quite feminine. She actually brings him a raw steak and offers to cook it herself in the kitchen in this, beautiful dress that she's wearing. I mean, that is very feminine, and that is actually very attractive. Let me tell you. Now, come on, give me some information here. Okay, so yeah, based on their conversations and stuff like that. Now, this Mike Danger, as you can see, no, you can't see. So yeah, he's fighting these robots and everything. He's the physical specimen of a man as far as combat goes, taking on these guys. Now, this woman, there is one factor about this woman. She is the scientist. She is the smart one, the brainy one. And this you might not be able to read it, but the older gentleman talks about a paradox, and then Mike Danger, he refers to it as a pair of docs, as in doctors, pair of doctors, not realizing the paradox is its own word. So, yeah, if you're wondering where the woke came from, it did not pop up in a vacuum. It started with stuff like this. Rather attractive woman, not just physically, but in her day-to-day life. Actually quite attractive. Brings him a steak and cooks it for him in this amazing dress. But she's got a boy's haircut. And she's the smart one. She's the scientist between the two. Mike Danger, he's actually kind of on the dumb side there. Yeah, he's fighting the robots. He's the man, masculine man, going, mano a mano with the tin cans. But he's kind of, based on this one issue, he kind of seems dumber than a box of rocks. As far as, math and science and those STEM fields go. So, yeah, woke did not pop up in a vacuum. It started with stuff like this. Now, she was feminine enough, whatnot. You could kind of look past it a little bit and enjoy it for what it was. But, yeah, the woke has been coming for a long time there. But, yeah, other than that, I mean, it's actually kind of an interesting story. It's definitely on the trippy side. Gets his head ripped off and new body curl. That is definitely comic book material right there. Alright, so we got a bag and a board here. Alright, let's get this puppy bagged up and boarded and ready for storage. And the funny thing is, as much as I would like to sit here and read some of these, I got so much stuff going on. 3 channels. I'm one man trying to do everything. And believe me, it is difficult. Especially when you're trying to teach yourself a whole bunch of new skills that you never thought you would ever be in a position to learn, let alone have a reason to. So, yeah, it kind of makes free time a bit challenging there sometimes. That's why I enjoy this House of G so much. So yeah, there we go. Mike Danger. What was that? Number 3. Big entertainment. Yeah, big entertainment. I don't think they lasted very long from what I remember. But you know what? They gave it the old college try. Back in the day, Marvel and DC, they were the big two. It was very difficult to challenge them just because they were so big and so popular. And the whole thing with the Diamond Publishing, I'm not sure how long that was going on for. Clearly, they had some sort of monopoly type situation. Plenty of independent stuff. You did have Image. That was fairly big. IDW, I'm not sure how long it's been around, but it has been around for a while. And I don't know. They tried, though. They definitely tried. That's what makes America great. You can keep on trying. Alright, this one's going in the box. Ooh, oh, hello. Okay, so. I'm not even sure where I got this one. Because this one's... Okay, it's in really good condition, which might be a good thing. Okay, so this one is from... Okay, so the symbol looks a lot the same, but this one is from Techno Comics. And it is obviously related to Big Entertainment. They got the same type of symbol there. They got the circle with the hand coming over it. I'm not 100% sure if it was a... This is from 1995, so this one's earlier. Issue number 1, Lady Justice. Yeah. Neil Gaiman's Lady Justice, number 1, 1995. So this one predates the Mike Danger. So I'm not sure if these were just subdivisions within the same company, or if they were trying to spin off different universes within the same company. Oh, and as you can see there, it is quote-unquote signed by Neil Gaiman. It is a gold foil type signature printed onto the comic book. It's not his actual handwritten signature, I don't think. Even though I could be wrong on that. Honestly, it's kind of hard to tell. Yeah, it almost looks like maybe he used a gold marker. Honestly, I can't remember. Wait a minute. Oh, I can't remember. Is that his actual signature? Honestly, it's hard to tell. Kind of, I don't know. I want to say that's printed into the cover, but I am not 100% certain about that. Kind of looks maybe it could have been a gold ink pen or something. Yeah, but right there, it kind of does look like it was printed into the cover. I mean, like into the cover. It's not just like sitting on the, you know, like you write on it and the ink is sitting on top of the paper and everything. From a certain angle, it looks like it's actually printed into the cover, like a slight indentation. So that might just come like that then. Yeah, so we got Lady Justice here. I don't really remember a whole lot about her. With the back cover there, Justice is on fire there. That is not the Lady Justice you might be used to. Yeah, the real Lady Justice. She's got the yoga type dress on, and yeah, very clean representation of Justice. This one is very well, let's say hardcore. So, all right, let's get into this a little bit. I'm trying to be careful with this one. It's in really good condition. And it does have that signature on there, printed or not. So, starts off with what looks like a bunch of gangsters. And then, there you go. There's the traditional Lady Justice right there. That is the real Lady Justice. She's not violent. Justice is not violence. But in this case, this particular character would appear to be pretty much the exact opposite of that. Oh, some sort. Okay, so it looks like they're ripping off a heart or something for a transplant. Gangster style. Or blood? Blood bank. Well, they're in a hospital. And they're stealing bioorganic stuff. There was a whole bunch of stuff that looked like they were blood bags. And obviously that's some bad JoJo right there. Bad juju. So we got a funeral, 2 caskets, some lady in a wheelchair. She puts on a blindfold. Okay, this is weird. This has just got a little weird. So she puts on a blindfold. She's in a wheelchair. And then she magically jumps out of the wheelchair. Now, keep in mind, she's drawn like a woman. You can tell that's a woman. That is actually a nice looking woman right there. But for some reason, putting on a blindfold gave her the ability to walk again. And then here we have some sort of manifestation. I'm not sure if she's supposed to be like the spirit of justice. But she goes on to tell her that she is, this woman is, okay, you are no longer Janine Michelle Farrell. You are Lady Justice. Okay, so she's got a voice in her head. Okay, she's got a voice in her head telling her, saying, give yourself over to me. Trust me. Tells her to put on a blindfold. She puts on the blindfold, boom, she jumps out of the chair. She is a nice looking woman. Let's put it. Not sure where the white hair came from. She doesn't look that old. So, yeah, okay. So she puts on the blindfold, becomes Lady Justice. And goes on to, kick some ass. As expected. Which, in my opinion, that's more the spirit of vengeance than the spirit of justice right there. But kind of get what they're saying there. The justice, modern day justice system has failed miserably for the common man. So it's been a long time coming. I got some personal stories I can tell you. This is not what this House of G is about, so we're not going to get into that. But there is a reason why characters like this were created. So yeah, it's fairly violent. Somewhat gory, not like super insanely gory. And then I don't know what. Okay, so to be continued. Yeah, she just goes on a rampage, beating up these guys that killed her brother. And then just a couple of one-page shots, standalone shots. Not sure what that's supposed to be exactly. But that's the human version of Lady Justice on the, what was that, the left, right, the right. Yeah, some more. 1 second. Ooh, doggy. So yeah, that's the end of that issue. Just some more one-shots of Lady Justice. Quite a few of them, actually. These might actually be fan submissions. Oh, you know what? These might actually be fan submissions. Well, either fan submissions or other, artists got in on it to, submit some, based on that one, I'm taking the fan submissions, though, of Lady Justice. Interesting. So, yeah, that is Neil Gaiman's Lady Justice right there. Number 1, 1995. Yes, September 1995. And I don't know. Kind of like the concept, but the way it's executed, it's a little clunky for me. A little on the nose. Honestly, she's more the spirit of vengeance, like say Ghost Rider or something, than actual justice. So I don't know. Kind of subverts the whole concept of justice, and because of personal experiences regarding her justice system, well, kind of hits close to home there. And it's back in the day, I can see why I might have been interested in it, but today, it's a little on the clumsy side. Like, I can see where he's trying to go with it, but it doesn't quite do it. At least as far as I'm concerned, in my humble opinion. But with that said, this is in great condition, actually. I'm shocked. And it does have Neil Gaiman's signature on there, even though I'm pretty sure that is printed into the cover itself. So yeah, let's go ahead and get this baby bagged and boarded. And I doubt it's ever going to be worth much, but hey, you know what? Doesn't mean you can't take care of it. And ultimately, it's not about the intrinsic value in terms of collection and everything. At least for me, there is value in this stuff. If you wanted to, some of these things, some of these issues, they might be worth a lot of money. You can sell them, get that financial benefit from it. Ultimately, for me at least, like I said, this is my hobby. This is one of my hobbies. I've always read comic books because I enjoyed the characters, I enjoyed the stories, I enjoyed the inner universes that were created. I didn't get into it for financial gain. I wasn't trying to get rich off of it. I wasn't like buying a bunch of number one issues in the hopes that that would be the next big number one that was worth like, buckets of cash. That's never why I got into comic books. And there are definitely a lot of people out there that buy certain issues hoping that that issue is going to just make them rich someday. And that's fine. It's all well and good if that's what they want to do. These companies, though, they need to realize that, well, that's not a good business model. Which is why a lot of the modern comic books, they are continuously coming out with like new series. Ooh, number one. Because they're trying to get that big cash payout from that initial launching. And after that initial launching, the title just fizzles into nothing. That's why they have to keep recycling this whole number one of a new series ideas, because they have no ideas left for perpetuating the series and making it successful over the long term. And it's a pretty sad and sorry state of modern comic books, which is why we got the back issues. So yeah, might actually be worth something. I mean, I am shocked at how good a condition this thing's in, considering it's from 1995. Whew, wow. So there you have it. The Lady Justice from Neil Gaiman, issue number 1, September 1995, with his signature. I don't know if you can see it. Now it's in the bag. Yeah, okay, there you go. Yeah, that's my ring light. There it is. Okay, there you go. All right, let's get this baby in the box there, and let me check it out. Okay. Well. Okay, so interesting. Well, let me see what year this is real quick. Okay, so that was 1995. Okay, so that Lady Justice number 1 was from September 1995. This is Neil Gaiman's Lady Justice number 3 from, what was it, August? August of 1996, almost a full year later. And as you can see, it's got big entertainment instead of the Techno Comics. This is about a year later. So I'm kind of wondering if they started with Techno Comics and then transitioned over to big entertainment to try and maybe capture some more, a broader mass appeal. Because I don't know. Lady Justice is definitely not techno. It's definitely more of a mystical type character. And look, let me tell you here. Yeah, this cover right here, this is a nice cover. That, you can tell that is definitely a woman. Lady Justice, you expect that to be a female character. And from that cover, that is definitely a female character. Let me tell you. And it is a nice looking one. That's what comic books is all about. It's about appealing. Yeah, you get the characters, you get the stories, you get the universes, the background, the whole universe that's created, but then, you do have that visual appeal. That's what sets comic books apart. You have that visual appeal. Without that visual appeal, you don't have a comic book. It doesn't have to be super top-notch art, but it's got to be good art, And this is a very visually appealing cover. There's no argument around that. This would not fly nowadays. The people in charge of comic books nowadays, they don't like this stuff. That should tell you a lot about where they stand and what their agenda is about. I'm not gonna lie. This encouraged me to buy this comic book. This cover right here. Looking at that, it got my attention. I'm sure I don't have to explain why. So I picked it up. 1996. Oh my gosh, that was a lifetime ago. Alright, so let's get into this here. So, I'm not 100% sure if this was a new series or if this is actually number 3 after the volume 2. I already bagged it up. I want to say it's volume 1, so I'm pretty sure this is like a new volume, new series of the character. So yeah, they're at some sort of funeral. So Lady Justice seems to be struggling. Well, the woman, the actual human woman, seems to be struggling with a crisis of conscience. And of course, the spirit of Lady Justice, who might be better named Lady Vengeance, is, well, yeah, she's trying to convince the human woman to, well, do her thing there. And ultimately she does. So she was holding a crossbow there, and she lets it fly. And boom. So, yeah, obviously a very violent character. But the human side of her was definitely struggling with crisis of conscience there. What is going on here? What? Okay, so interesting. Okay, so you got this woman walking through some sort of, I think it's a gun exhibition. I think it's some sort of gun show. No, maybe not. No, it's movies. Okay, that's a movie theater. That's a concession stand in the background. She's walking through a concession stand. Now, you know, a blind person, it's not a big deal. But she has a blindfold over her eyes, and she's just walking like, well, like she doesn't have a blindfold over her eyes. That's an interesting image right there. And nobody seems to bat an eye or think twice about it. Interesting. Not really sure what the connection is there. That was at a movie theater. Okay, so she's, okay, it's at a movie theater. And somehow, oh. Well, okay, so at some point, it doesn't show you when or how, she changes clothes into an usher's uniform. Not sure where she got it from, but she's obviously looking for something. Like I said, nobody questions the fact that she's walking around with a blindfold on her face in broad daylight. So that's interesting. And then she just knocks the guy over, you know, in the way that you expect that to mean. And she fights her way out. Yeah, so she's, wait a minute. What? Okay. See, without reading it, it can get a little confusing because stuff is happening. And without reading the dialogue and the captions, yeah, it can be a little difficult to follow it. I'm not sure what happened there. Did she take off? Oh, she took off her, okay, she took off her uniform jacket. And then for whatever reason, so I think it looked like she was going to knock this particular guy off. And for some reason, she takes off the red wig and the blindfold and shows her real face to this guy. And instead of knocking him off, apparently she makes some sort of deal with him or something. I don't know. She without reading it, I'm not 100% sure what's going on. But yeah, so instead of knocking him off, they come to some sort of agreement. And physically, she's attractive. Hair is down to her shoulder, so at least it's got some length to it. But clearly, she is angry. Like, she's got a very angry scowl on her face and whatnot. Definitely detracts from her beauty there, natural beauty. But this, you know, Lady Justice, Spirit of Vengeance, you don't expect her to be, you know, really smiling much. Interesting. This woman definitely seems to be quite conflicted, quite tormented, I guess you could say. Apparently, the spirit of Lady Justice has been around for quite some time. Look like some sort of flashback. Yeah, so I guess her name is Bridget Diamond. I think this might be a different woman. Is volume 2. So at the end, she thinks she's Bridget Diamond. So she's seems to be in the process of losing her identity to the spirit of Lady Justice. That is actually an interesting twist on her story there. And over here we have Lady Justice number 4. That one is clearly more of a medieval take on her. So I'm thinking this might be going back in time or something. I wonder if this is like some sort of anthology type deal. Oh, no. Oh, no, never mind. But this Lady Justice on here has got kind of medieval looking outfit there with a clearly medieval looking sword. Well, without reading it, it's impossible to know for sure. So yeah, there's Lady Justice. It's fairly interesting. It's got a fairly interesting concepts to the story. I'm not sure I actually bought more than that. I'm not sure how long the company was actually around. They changed their name apparently from Techno Comics to Big Entertainment. So yeah, they may have been struggling at that point to make that kind of change. Not 100% sure there without doing any research. It's a nice cover, not gonna lie. That is a nice cover. That makes me want to pick it up and read it. And that's exactly what I did. It made me pick it up and buy this comic. Regardless of how good or bad the story was, it got me to pick it up and buy it. And it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. There were definitely some interesting facets to the story. It's not really my idea of justice per se, but it is a comic book, so that's what comic books do. They kind of take things to the extreme, push the boundaries, make you think. That's definitely what it does. It makes me think. So in that regard, it's quite successful. And yeah, that was a nice looking cover there. So yeah, and they can't erase this. It is in my collection. It is physical media, and we're gonna go ahead and bag and board this puppy up. And hopefully, it's already 1996. I already had it for quite some time there. We'll see how long we can keep this one looking good in the collection. So. All right. Got ourselves a bag and board. Now, once I do finish bagging and boarding all these, I'm going to go through the rest of my collection and take a look at it. Because, well, as you can see, I've had some of these comics for quite some time. 3 decades on some of them. That's crazy. Wow. So yeah, I definitely need to go through them and check them out. So once I get through this stack that hasn't been bagged and boarded at all, yeah, we'll be doing that. Going through the rest of my collection. Gonna check them out. Yeah, check out the stories, compare them to modern stuff, and make sure they're still in good condition. I'm probably gonna have to buy some more bags and boards and everything. Yeah, I got that box. Oh my goodness. Let me tell you, my life has been so chaotic over the years. I have not had the opportunity to take care of this stuff properly. I didn't even have access to it for like 7 years. I was in a completely different state, halfway across the country, completely out of reach. Now I finally got the chance, and I'm really happy for it. I'm really grateful for the opportunity to finally sit down and be able to do stuff like this with my collection. It reminds me of why I got into comic books to begin with, why I enjoyed it so much, because with all of the nonsense and malarkey going on in modern day comics, it's been really difficult to remember why I enjoyed comic books to begin with. And this series, House of G, has really helped to remind me of what made comic books fun to begin with and why it's one of my favorite hobbies. I'm a very creative person by nature, and I love creating things, and I love enjoying things that other people have created, whether it's comic books, movies, television, video games. I don't worship this stuff. I don't worship the characters. They're just characters. They're made up. They're make-believe. You got the actors and actresses that play them in the movies and the TVs. They're just doing a job. Never been much into hero worship. It's just about enjoying the story, enjoying the characters, and connecting with the characters and whatnot, and realizing that somebody made those characters, somebody made those stories, and that they're all, in all likelihood, drawing from their own personal experiences. And through that, you find a human connection with these people. You might not know them in real life. You might never meet them in real life. But you realize This person's been through some stuff to have been able to write something like this. And it does create a community in that regard. And that is where comic books, the comic book and entertainment industry in general, has completely lost its way. It's lost touch with the common man. They're creating these characters and stories that just have no connection to reality, they have no connection to any real, actual personal experience. It's literally stuff they made up off the top of their heads. Oh, this is what I think. This is what I think this would be cool. This is what I think, the way I think things should be. It's not based on actual experience. They've completely lost the connection. It's what makes this stuff popular to begin with. Yeah, it's just a shame. Now, I just noticed this. It does actually have a little thing there. It does clearly state graphic violence. There is no comic book rating on there, like you might see with Marvel or DC. So they came up with their own thing here, which is, you got to give them credit for that. It does state that there is graphic violence. I don't know if you can read that because it's not really. There we go. Yep, got the knife with the blood, and it clearly states graphic violence. So yeah, they were definitely trying to be responsible about it without having to conform to the uniform code, which is questionable to begin with in this day and age. All right, let's go ahead and seal that puppy up. And make no mistake, folks. A lot of people just are into this stuff, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Comic books have always been kind of a niche thing as far as society goes. You get the funny books, Saturday morning, or the Sunday, Sunday comics and everything. Garfield and whatnot. That's definitely got more mainstream appeal because the characters are a little more grounded, maybe. The stuff is definitely more on the fantastical side. But make no mistake, folks, pop culture does matter. It is a bellwether for society, where society is at. Especially beneath that surface, that veneer that most people actually see on a day-to-day basis. And it matters. You got to pay attention. You got to pay attention to stuff like this. And if you don't believe me, just pick up New Warriors. Oh my gosh. Spider-Woman. Captain Marvel, stuff like that. It matters. Pop culture matters. Ooh, doggy. Let's go ahead and put this in the box and get to the next one. This one might be a little surprising, and I'm sure a lot of people are gonna be interested in this one. What we have here is Leonard Nemoy's Primordials. Ooh, doggy. And you guessed it, big entertainment #1. Let's see here. Now this does have a stamp saying approved by the Comics Code Authority. Interesting. So apparently Lady Justice was not approved by the Comics Code Authority, but this one was. Primordials. This is Volume 2, #1. July of 1996, the same year as that last Lady Justice. And oh yeah, so it's Leonard Nimoy's Primordials with concepts by Isaac Asimov. Those are some big names right there. Leonard Nimoy, big name in science fiction. God bless his soul. And then you got Isaac Asimov, one of the big names in science fiction. So they were definitely trying to capitalize on these names. And the backstory of this universe is actually fairly interesting. I don't actually remember too much about it. Yeah, so it's dealing with some sort of alien race. It took a bunch of critters from back in the day before, I guess, like the big asteroid hit or something and wiped out dinosaurs or something. And let's see here. Let's get into this a little bit. So apparently those creatures that they collected and took away came back at some point, evolved as a certified biologist. There is an incredible amount of misunderstanding regarding what evolution is. Evolution is a thing. However, not in the way that people think. We're not getting into that as a whole science topic right there. That would take some explanation that would go way beyond the purpose of this live stream. To put it succinctly, the true nature of evolution has nothing to do with the creation of new species. But for entertainment purposes, it works. It's not, this stuff's not real. You can literally do pretty much whatever you want with it. It definitely helps if you have some foundation in scientific reality to give it the ability to, suspend your disbelief and everything. But this is by and far way beyond what evolution is actually capable of. Let me put it to you this way. Evolution deals with genetic material that already exists in nature. It has absolutely nothing to do with the creation of new genetic material. That is the short of it right there. And that's as deep as I'm going with it. But yeah, so Hudog. Okay, so okay, so yeah. Interesting. So we got we got some sort of monkey primate thing. There's some rhino humanoid thing. And then some alien looking dude with a tentacle in his chest. That is definitely odd right there. So those are the primordials. Back in the day, their ancestors were taken away from Earth. They evolved on an alien planet, and for some reason they came back to Earth at this point. Not sure why as of yet. All in all, it's an interesting concept. The concept was created by Leonard Nemoy and Isaac Asimov, so it's bound to have to be interesting on some level. Some pterodactyl looking dude. He looks like he might be the bad guy, actually. And then you got your human characters with the human drama mixed in for good measure. Lots of government stuff going. Oh, so that is that was actually a news show type deal. Looks like some sort of cardinal from the church. And I don't know if you can see that. Looks like CNN. Yeah, modern day CNN is quite the joke. This is from 1996, though, when they had at least some, a bit more credibility and whatnot. It's interesting how CNN, even since 1996, they get shoehorned into our entertainment. That's a little weird, because usually when it comes to entertainment like this, comic books, movies, they usually have a stand-in. So instead of CNN, it might be like VNN or ZNN or something like that. But for some reason, especially this is with this as proof. Since at least 1996, CNN has been shoehorned into our entertainment. Honestly, that's a little weird, because that is not normal. Usually they make up facsimiles that are similar to real life, organizations and whatnot, but they're not exactly that. They don't just blatantly just plug it in and shoehorn it in your face. Now, since I'm reading this, and I haven't read this since probably 1996. Oh, hello. A little distracted there. Yeah, that's raising some questions right there. I just thought about that. CNN 1996 just shoehorned right into this primordials. It's not a facsimile, it's not a stand-in. It is straight up. See, now they're not using the actual CNN symbol as far as it's kind of an orange color. So it's not quite as far as I remember. Well, that was 30 years ago, so 24 years ago. But I don't think their symbols changed since then, as far as I know. And they just shoehorned it right in. That's just weird, if you ask me. So that's been going on for a long time. Personally, I don't watch CNN. They've been caught. I'm not going down that rabbit hole. All I'm gonna say is they've been caught lying and making stuff up so many times over so many years. They're a straight up joke at this time. So it's rather. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, it is really difficult to tell because it's so freaking small. Okay, that's GNN. That is a G. But it's a little odd because it is so difficult to see that little part that sticks up that makes it a G. It looks like a C. If you're not looking closely, it looks like a CNN. There you go. I don't know if you can see it there. Yeah, it's very difficult to tell, but that it is a G. And then, oops, wrong way. Over here, there it is again. And it's even smaller, more difficult to tell. It looks like a CNN. So, okay, so I was wrong in that regard. In this case, they did, in fact, make it a stand-in facsimile, GNN instead of CNN. But in recent years, they've definitely dropped the facade. Interesting, though. It's still interesting, in my humble opinion. And, yeah, lots of behind-the-scenes stuff going on. In spaceship, government agencies, lots of dialogue. I'm not going to sit here and read all of it. At least not on stream. And then finally, we get back to the actual primordials on their spaceship. It's an interesting concept. It's kind of like a mix. It's almost got like a Transformers feel to it. And then there you see a bunch of their spaceships, and there's definitely some Star Trek influence there, especially that one in the bottom left. Those look like warp missiles. That actually looks almost like an Enterprise style ship. So they're definitely tapping into that Star Trek nostalgia for this. You know what? You can't blame them. You've got Leonard Nemoy attached to this. You know they're going to capitalize on that. So it's like, there it is. Boom. Throwing a little bit of Star Trek nostalgia. Trying to amp up the excitement for the series. You know, I don't blame them one bit. So, yeah. All in all, I mean, it's an interesting concept. This is back in the day, 1996, competing with Marvel and DC. It was an extremely difficult thing to do. Nowadays, it's probably going to be a whole lot easier. Especially once all this nonsense gets put behind us. Yeah, some sort of armada. Kind of, yeah, that's actually, it's like some sort of armada. It's kind of a galactic, Battlestar Galactica style almost. Haven't read the dialogue, but it seems like they're on their way trying to find some place. I'm guessing Earth at this point. Yeah, just traveling through the deep reaches of space. Ooh, doggy. Interesting. That is the final page on that one. Dusk till dawn. So yeah, that is Leonard Nimoy's Primordials, with concepts by Isaac Asimov. All in all, just breezing through it like that, it's on the interesting side. I'm not gonna lie. Now, even as a certified biologist, and I can look at this stuff and I can immediately see the flaws in the origins of the characters. I do have the ability to suspend disbelief to be able to enjoy it for what it is. And that is what comic books and entertainment is all about. The stuff isn't science, folks. It is science fiction. It is fiction. It is made up with a basis in scientific reality. But it is not real. It is science fiction. And that is where, it has to be just realistic enough to be able to suspend disbelief without mistaking it for real life. So yeah, that was actually an interesting concept. I don't think I got any more, but I'm going to have to keep an eye out for those. Definitely going to have to read that and get caught up on it. So, fascinating. Yeah, Leonard Nimoy. Good old Leonard Nimoy. May God rest his soul. All right, there you have it. All right, let's go ahead and get this baby bagged and boarded. Overall, it's in pretty good condition. Oh my gosh, answer number one. Okay, it's not mint. It might be near mint. That corner is a little, so it might be just slightly below near mint. But that's in pretty good condition. I'm gonna have to look that one up. Especially since Leonard Nemoy's name is attached to it. Along with Isaac Asimov. Interesting. Alright, let's get this puppy bagged. Oh, Star Trek theme. How's the Star Trek theme go? Actually, I think that's Star Wars. Okay, let's see. Okay. Leonard Nemoy's Primordials. There we go. Nice and easy. Gotta give it that gentle touch. These are modern bags and boards, and that barely fits. I did not realize I had comic books going back that far, or that modern comic books had shrunk so much. Modern comic books are so much more expensive than the old ones. This is only 26 years old. $2.25. But that just goes to show how much modern comic books have actually shrunk down. That's wow, that's kind of crazy. Makes you think of going to the grocery store, you know, and you buy your favorite like cereal or candy or whatever, chips, and the price is the same, but at some point you realize that the actual size, the amount of the food is actually smaller than it used to be. Yeah, it's one of those marketing tricks to make you think that you're paying the same amount of money for the same amount of entertainment or whatever, the amount of food, whatever it is. But in reality, you're actually getting less bang for your buck, and that has to do with inflation more than anything. Man, yeah, comic books have gotten so expensive, in part because I think these people might be getting paid more than they were in the day. Whether it's they've earned it or not, I don't know. That would take some research. I can safely say that some of these people have not earned it. But the fact that the actual size of the comic book has apparently shrunk according to these modern bags and boards. But the prices have still gone up quite a bit. It makes you think. But hey, that's not what this stream's about, so we'll go ahead and table that one for now. So there you have it. Leonard Nemoy's Primordials, and she's ready for storage. Boom, chakalaka. All right. Yeah, we are definitely making progress there. That is pretty nice. So, well, with that said, I think that's going to do it for today's House of G. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed the trip down memory lane. Experienced a bit of a nostalgia there. There's some issues. It's not entirely possible. You may have never even heard of them, depending on how long you've been into the comic book scene, if you're into the comic book scene. The Primordials by Leonard Nimoy, I completely forgot about it. I totally, absolutely forgot about it. Let alone the fact that I actually own one. Yeah. Issue number one, Leonard Nimoy's Primordials. That's volume 2. Big Entertainment. I might need to look that one up just to check that out. I'm just curious on that one. Like I said, I don't do this for the money, but if you do happen to have something like that, you want to take good care of it. Because worst case scenario, you can turn into like some sort of family heirloom, pass it down to your kids or something like that. You know, if not just any kid, if you got a kid that's into this stuff that really appreciates it, it would be it might be a really nice heirloom to pass down to that particular child if they have a passion and love for this type of medium. If you give it to a kid that just really doesn't appreciate it, odds are they're just going to sell it. But it's up to you. If it's yours, it's up to you. Your property, your kids, absolutely 100% your decision. That's just my advice. So that's how I would handle it. Because I got the passion and love for these things, for comic books, this medium. And if and when I hand them down to somebody, hopefully I will have somebody to hand them down to that will share that passion and enthusiasm. Because, like I said, pop culture does matter. They're books. they're comic books, but they are books nonetheless. They do tell stories. They do have morals to those stories, and they do push the boundaries. I do believe in conserving traditional values because they are the foundation and the rock of the family and of society. Without a strong family, without a strong society, without a strong moral foundation, a country cannot last. A society, a people cannot last. That's what makes this stuff so important. But at the same time, it's not just government. Government's the big one because government has so much control. But even within smaller entities, within a society, within a nation, there are entities that can, and organizations that can grow and build so much power. Let's take big tech, for example. And they have the ability to engage in propaganda just like the government does. So pop culture helps to push back against that, to push back against those artificial boundaries that shouldn't exist, especially according to, say, like the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. Pop culture matters, folks. Pop culture is important. And that is why we got to keep up the fight. Remember the past. Remember your history. Whether it's actual real human history or pop culture history. Because pop culture is founded in reality, in real human experiences. Pop culture matters, folks. It really does. Make no mistake. Even if the majority of people aren't into it, if they're quote unquote normies, to say, to put it into, common vernacular. Well, it still matters, folks. It really does. So yeah, this is an interesting one, at least for me. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully you found some of these issues interesting and whatnot in their own right. And well, I hope you have a great day there. Especially being Monday, the start of the week. Hopefully this helps to kick it off a little bit better for you, because it's definitely helping for me. So, hoodoy. Yep. Well, with that said, I'll see you in the canteen, recruit. This is Rubber Rant. Oh no, you know what? I forgot which channel I was on there. I still have to come out with an outro. I still have to figure out an outro for House of G. It is part of the Rebel Rant series, but yeah, I'm going to have to come up with something. This is the fun part of doing these things. You're constantly having to create something new. You come up with an idea, it grows, and you got to come up with other stuff to help flesh it out, to help give it that background and everything. Those little touches. That is some of the fun stuff of doing this. So, well, thank you for spending some time with the House of G here. You have yourself a great one. And remember that pop culture